is because a certain body called the Coalition of United Politics Parties (CUPP) alleged fresh plot to fire INEC chair and deactivate the use of beavers. These and more will be coming your way on the Evening Rush Show with your girl Precious. And you know what interests me most in all of these headlines? Today, the 13th of October, is World No Bra Day. Okay, don't get too excited. It's not like it's a day that will throw the tatas away and then, let the girls free and set them free and let them jubilate. No, it's not just about that. So it's actually a day that is set aside to remember those who have at least conquered breast cancer. All right. So, yes, I know a lot of people celebrate that one way or the other by jumping some girls around. No. So the No Bra Day is not an opportunity for you to display your sexual perversion and all of those things. It's a day to acknowledge victims of breast cancer, celebrate survivors, and create awareness about breast cancer. Because the whole month of October, it's usually called Pink October, is actually a month that is used to commemorate and remember and celebrate breast cancer or create awareness for breast cancer. So you see, the show is loaded today. My name is Precious Inyi. This is the Evening Rush Show with a girl Precious, and I'm excited to be with you. We'll kickstart in a very short while. Stay with us.
Listening to your number one station,
the Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Do not touch that dial.
So also begin today, the Coalition of United Political Parties, CUPP, that's the name of the body, they sounded their alarm over an alleged plot to fire the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC chairman Mahmoud Yakubu. And of course, they said this may happen before the 2023 general election. Why do they have that fear? Now, the opposition parties who addressed a press conference in Abuja on Wednesday, that is yesterday, also claimed that they had uncovered plans to deactivate the bimodal voter accreditation system called the Beavers. And this is to prevent INEC from using it during the election. Now, with the aim of stopping the electronic transmission of results. That spokesperson for the parties, Ikenga Ugochinyere, acclaimed as Southeast governors spearheading the alleged plot by the ruling All Progressive Congress APC to compromise the polls, and there's been a lot of reaction surrounding that. The INEC chairman has also responded to that. The spokesperson for the INEC Commissioner for Information and Voter Education has also responded to this particular accusation. However, it's important that we understand first of all what this Beavers is about. Now, remember that by the Electoral Act that has been signed into law right now, it makes it necessary for INEC to ensure the electronic transmission of results, meaning that in that polling unit where you're conducting the election, as the election finishes, they are counting the number of votes. As they finish counting it, they'll impute it into the system and send directly to the central server. So any INEC staff there who conducted that was there to oversee the election in that particular ward, is his responsibility to, in the presence of Igwe Mado, everybody in that place, to ensure that they impute the result as counted in front of the entire voters into the central system or the central database of the of INEC. If you could recall that in the Ekiti State election, is it Ekiti or Osun State election that happened a few months ago, there was a particular incident of a particular INEC staff who was saying that I do not have data to send the results after counting. That is, I do not have data to send the results to the central system. Don't worry, I'll send it on my way going. And the people there, the crowd held, come back here. We want it. Don't worry, we'll give you hotspots. We'll give you hotspots to do it. Don't worry about data. So that is what it is. Now, why is this very important? Remember that back in the days, one of the things that was used to rig elections or destroy elections is the snatching of ballot papers. Now, with the introduction of the Beavers, which means that the only way you can vote, or the only vote that can count, is the vote of those who were accredited with this system called BVAS, which is, right away, the bimodal voter accreditation system. So the only way you can be, or you would be eligible to vote, and the only vote that will be counted, is for those who ensure the proper accreditation is done with the BVAS system. How is this accreditation done? It is done with your face or your fingerprint. So in a situation where your fingerprint doesn't work, maybe because your palm is too wet or something, don't worry, to capture your face. And by your face, it captures your eyes, and that is it. So that is to say that somebody cannot vote with somebody else's name anymore. Someone cannot use another person's name to thumbprint on anymore. So there is no way you can manufacture numbers in elections anymore. In the past, we've had political politicians rather allege that there is actually no voting. Rather, we have vote counting, where politicians just dictate the number of votes you can seat to different words, and that's how elections are conducted. And that is why INEC can categorically beat their chest and say, like they said recently this week, that they have murdered rigging in elections. Because with these BVAS, there is no way anybody can rig election anymore. For you to rig the election successfully, you must have as many people as possible who will vote with their faces and their personal fingerprints, with their personal data. Do you understand? So their bio data must be captured in the system for them to vote. So this group now is alleging that there is a plot to ensure the removal of the INEC chairman who is sitting right now, Oga Mahmood Yakubu. The reason for that is because they are looking for a way for them not to use the BVAS. That's the accusation. What do you think about this? I'll give you more insight on this, but anyway, let me let you know that the phone lines are open. We will be having this discussion together today, and also letting you know that a discussion that has to do with mental health. I have a consultant psychiatrist coming to the house today. She'll be here to attend to all your stress, all those things disturbing your head and giving your head headache, and giving you probably may not even know that you have a mental health issue, right? So she will be here to do justice to that, to take your calls, your questions, and probably give you first-hand advice on how to at least manage your mental health. But in the meantime, phone lines are open. I'd like to hear your thoughts and reactions on this particular story. Coalition of United Political Parties, CUP, alleged fresh plot to fire INEC chair and deactivate BVAS. 0700 903 903 903. It's the number to call. You can also send us a WhatsApp message to 0700 903 903 9. Send your WhatsApp message to 0700 903 903 9. And then call us on 0700 903 903 903. So, further into the story. So, as a matter of fact, INEC has actually dismissed that. So, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has dismissed an alleged plot to jettison the bimodal voter accreditation system BVAS machine for the 2023 national general elections. INEC spokesperson Festus Okoye described the allegation by the Coalition of United Political Parties, CUP, as empty and baseless. Say that kind of thing cannot be done. It is not possible that this can happen. In fact, he said CUP, a body of political parties in Nigeria who have given this advice, he said, in fact, Nigerians should cool down, go to bed and sleep. It is not possible. So Okoye, INEC's National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, dismissed CUP's allegation. Okoye told newsmen that the BVAS machine was a national asset, adding that its usage for the conduct of the polls was irreversible because why? It is inside our law already. So nothing can take it away. So he stressed that the BVAS machine was already backed by the Constitution, and it would therefore be criminal for it not to be used. So while stating that the commission had delivered the BVAS machines to 23 states in the country, Okoye also added that the electronic transmission of results was already a foregone conclusion, meaning that it is written in the book of life already that we will transmit our results electronically. Nothing can take that away from us. All right, so let's get your thoughts and reactions right away. Okay, so it's 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. That is a number to reach us with this evening. You can also do us a WhatsApp message to 0700 903 903 9. 0700 903 903 9. Let me let you know that if you're listening in any part of Lagos, you could tell your people across the world, and they can watch us live on Voice of the People FM via YouTube, right? Because I am streaming right. I'm streaming live right now, so you can watch. Perhaps you have to see how I'm celebrating the No Bra Day thing. Okay, so let's take this call and then we'll get back right away. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Oh goodness, I lost that call. It's 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
A very good evening to you, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from? My name is Precious.
This is Mr. Desmond calling from Oshodi.
Mr. Desmond, good evening and welcome. Let's hear your thoughts
Good
and
evening.
reaction.
Well, if what you said, I believe that nobody can override the BVS if truly you are honest. But my fear is hooligans might not allow people to go and do the accreditation knowing fully well what they are up to. How our people going to be safe in doing the accreditation is where we need to work. Most of the states, the police are compromised, the NCDs are compromised. What are the security for the voters? Because they will know who you want to vote for. They will tell you, if not for this person, you're not going to be accredited. What are we going to do to protect the voters on the day of this election? Security is not guaranteed. Because that is another angle that will make people not to come there because of intimidation will be all over. Like what happened at Agod or Okota, the last election. You know what happened? Not the police were there, they didn't do nothing. So what is security? Because this matter will be telling people, don't go there. If you're coming there, they will break both your head. Don't do the station. The situation will be too much. So let's look see. This also is a good thing. It's going to be to work, which I believe. But what assurance that the voters are going to be under petition on that particular day? May the Lord help us.
Thank you. So, sir, do you believe that by these beavers, INEC has practically and totally murdered? Oh, I already lost him. All right, thank you so much for your thoughts. 0700 903 903 903 is the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. You don't have units, you don't have call credits, not to worry. Just send us WhatsApp message on 0700 903 903 9. That's the number to send your WhatsApp message to 0700 903 903 9. And if you want to call us, please do that on 0700 903 903 9. Did I say that? No. 0700 903 903 903. All right, so we're talking about a coalition of united political parties alleging that there is a plot to fire INEC chairman Mahmoud Yakubu and deactivate the use of beavers, and we'll have INEC responding to that immediately and saying that it is not possible because the use of beavers is already a law, because it is in the Electoral Act already, and the Electoral Act has been signed by the president. It's already a law, so it cannot be taken back. Nothing can stop it, and any attempt to stop it will mean that it's going to be illegal, because the law has already been enacted, right? Okay, so what do you think? But do you think that because the fear that COP would have is actually very valid, considering antecedents, during election in Nigeria? Do you think their fear is valid? Do you think it's something that we should actually be concerned about? This is what a lot of people are even worried about in the first place. Hello, good evening. Hello. All right, it's 0700 903 903 903. That's the number for you to call us this evening. So we're moving very quickly to other stories right here. Right. Okay, so if you did remember very well, that's how do I even start the story? I just sound like one appropriate lady right now in the studio. So officers of the Nigerian Navy in Delta State on Monday destroyed an illegal oil bunkering vessel arrested with stolen crude oil aboard Niger Delta creeks, right? Okay. So the operatives of the newly contracted private oil pipeline surveillance team owned by Tompolo, which is called Tantila Security Services, effected the vessel's arrest alongside its 7 members crew on October 6th. During the weekend, last weekend? Yeah, so on the creeks of Escravos, whilst crude oil was being loaded illegally into the ship. You would recall that so far we've been able to discover at least 58 illegal oil theft pipelines, if I'd have to say that. Illegal pipelines where they steal and suck our oil from so far. And I mean, this is credited to the surveillance team of our government, Tompolo, aka Tompolo, who was, awarded a contract of about 48 billion naira a year for the surveillance of our oil pipelines recently. And he swung into action immediately. He's been able to dictate multiple pipelines where they steal and they drown this country's crude from. Let me just call it drowning. So the Nigerian personnel set the illegal vessel on fire in Warri at about 3 o'clock on Monday afternoon, following confessions of the captain of the ship, Temple Manasseh. Why? And that the vessel was actually crude laden. So if you, as a naval officer, would catch a vessel carrying a crude illegally, is the right thing to do to set the vessel on fire immediately without proper investigation? Who owns the vessel? Who gave them orders? Where is it coming from? Why are they stealing our oil? Where do they sell to before now? There are lots of questions to ask, and that begs for answers. Were those questions asked? Why would the Nigerian Navy swing into action and immediately just set an entire vessel on fire? Couldn't the vessel just be impounded and, be investigated? This is the question. This is the question that is begging for an answer. So Manasseh, in his confession, stated that operatives of Tantila Security Services actually arrested him and his crew members. He, however, alleged that his vessel was hijacked by some gunmen who diverted it on the creeks and forcefully loaded crude oil into it. It is not him, it wasn't him. Okie dokie. So the story, Nigeria, it's a very interesting country, right? Quite interesting. And guess what? So he further said, I was arrested on Excravers by Tompolo boys, but the alleged stolen crude oil was not loaded by me. It wasn't me at all. So my vessel was hijacked by some boys who forced the loaded crude oil into my ship. I didn't know the hijackers at all. Kia. But when Tompolo security operatives stomped the scene, they all ran away and abandoned their loading operation, which had lasted about 2.5 hours. Okay. Now imagine the number of hours that you take to load such a vessel. Okay. So although the Nigerian Navy officials who destroyed the illicit oil vessel could not talk to newsmen on the incident, the maritime intelligence consultant for Tantila Security Services, Captain Weridi Eniswa, affirmed that the arrest was as a result of intelligence gathering, explaining that the security men monitored the space via satellite, and that's how they got to know. Very interesting again. So as of today, 13th of October 2022, House of Reps have ordered an investigation into the destruction of this particular illegal bunkering vessel in Niger Delta. So House of Representatives has resolved to investigate the circumstances and reason for the recent destruction of the illegal oil bunkering vessel by the security operatives in the Niger Delta. And the House said the vessel should have been preserved for evidence in the prosecution of the crime. All right. And then the further said the resolution followed that the adoption of the motion of urgent public importance moved by Onyofiok Luke, PDP, Akwa Ibom State, at the plenary on Wednesday, that is yesterday. So presenting the motion, Luke noted that oil theft was a problem that has existed for a long time in the Niger Delta and has caused serious environmental degradation in the region and, of course, sucking the country's economy. Right. So, and one will begin to wonder, right? Why did we destroy the evidence of crime? All right. So phone lines are open, Lagos 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call me with this evening. 0700 903 903 903. It is the evening rush with your girl Precious, and we are looking at a couple of stories. Coalition. That is COPE, which is the Coalition of United Political Parties, are alleging fresh plot to fire INEC chairman and deactivate the use of beavers. Do you want us to go back to the old days of ballot snatching? Is that what we are looking forward to? I need to hear your response. I need to share your thoughts and reactions. I need to know what you think about that. Plus, the fact that House of Rep has ordered the probe of the illegal bunkering vessel in Niger Delta that was destroyed by the Nigerian Navy. Let's get to hear your thought, Lagos. I'll take your calls after this break. It's 0700 903 903 903. It is the evening rush with Precious. I'll be right back.
This is your number one radio station at VOP 90.3 FM.
The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and cold berry ice cream, light in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and cold berry ice cream at 11 Road by First Avenue, First Town, 28 Adeniro Ogusanya Street, Surulere, 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1. Romeo's Pizza and cold berry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions.
If you're looking for a place to relax and find comfort, the right place to be is the Golden Tulip Essential Hotel. At the Golden Tulip Essential Hotel, we offer excellent services to our clients and customers. We serve high quality wines at our restaurant and bar, while our continental dish is second to none. At the Golden Tulip Essential Hotel, located on 42 Muritala Mohammed International Airport Road, our rooms are in conformity with international standard and best practices. We accord priority to security for all our guests. Breakfast is free.
That's how I do.
Yay! And we have standard facilities for your seminar and training. For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-7003-333.
Ice on my neck, ice on my wrist, you know. That's how I do.
Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less.
Every day strike, ASU strike, market women strike, even Kule people they strike. We don't become control striker.
Even light self, they no fit give us. Don't run from us. Even leg self, we get accident.
Why una dey complain? Why una dey complain? No una dey collect bribe, dey vote Sokoloko Bango ṣe.
Ìṣèjọba tó dára òun là ń béèrè.
Anyị chọrọ ọchịchị onye kwuru uche ya. Anyị achọrọghị ọchịchị nchigbu.
Ala ndeze temeka muna so n'ekio.
Wetin we want na make dem rule us well. Don't take it for noise. It's the people's voice. They have made their choice. Respect that voice for all to rejoice. VOP 90.3, Voice of the People.
VOP Voice of the People FM. Now you have a voice. I love to take your thoughts, your reactions. Call me up right now on 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to reach me with this evening. I'd like to share your thoughts and reactions. Hello, good evening. Hello. Oh my goodness, something is certainly wrong with my line this evening. All right, so all right, I'm still. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. Can you hear me? Hello. Okay. The phone line keeps pausing, but then, all right. So if you want to react and then you can't get through properly via call, you can do me a WhatsApp message to 0700 903 9039 0700 903 9039. But if you want to call me, please do so on 0700 903 903 903. That is 0700 903 903 903. So this evening, we're looking at a couple of stories, right? Just like we do usually on the show. Coalition Corp, which is a coalition, have lodged a fresh plot to fire INEC chairman Mahmoud Yakubu and, of course, stop the use of beavers or deactivate the use of beavers. Why do you think that is happening? Do you think this accusation is even true? And if it is true, really, why so? But however, INEC has come to, reacted to that, and they've said that no, that cannot be possible because the use of beavers is already a law. In that, the Electoral Act has already been passed and been signed by the president, so it's become a law already. So because of that, don't worry, don't stress yourself. Nothing is happening. You're sure that you're voting through beavers. And I did make an explanation, why it is important to have beavers and why INEC have said that. With the use of beavers or with the new Electoral Act, they have murdered and killed and crucified rigging in our elections. That is to say that for those of you who say my vote don't count, our vote will not count, right now your vote certainly count. A little wonder why you may think maybe some people are wondering, maybe could it be why political parties are now re-strategizing? PDP did start their campaign, kicked off their campaign on Monday, and they decided to take a backseat a bit to go back and put their house together and then come back again. So right now, political parties are out to win your vote, because it's important for them to get your vote, because there is nothing or no such thing anymore as ballot snatching, no such thing as thumb printing multiple times anymore. Any vote, every single vote counts, and those votes that will count are valid voters, those who have registered genuinely. Remember that so far we have about 96 million registered voters, and the votes must come from about this 96 million voters. It won't come from Holy Spirit. It won't come from the space. It won't come from one person printing 5 times anymore. It has to come from somebody whose biometric is registered in the data of INEC, right? And that's why they feel like it's very important that the beavers have ended and crucified the rigging in our elections. Okay, I'm trying to see if I can take some calls, but the phone lines are still, acting up. I probably would have to react and refresh and get back. All right, so the number still remains 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call us with, 0700 903 903 903. It is the evening rush with Precious on 90.3 Voice of the People FM. I also did tell you in the news this evening that the House of Representatives have asked that they probe the vessel that was destroyed by Nigerian Navy, the one that stole our oil illegally. They have to be investigated. And of course, I did give a background to that story, right? That what actually led to that story? It's that last week, about on the 6th, which was on Friday, I guess. So yes, that should be on Friday. On Thursday last week, Tom Polo, he and his security outfit, which of course, by the way, right now has the responsibility of securing our oil pipelines based on the contract that was awarded him by the federal government, did notice a vessel carrying our oil, right? And then the captain of this vessel was arrested, and the captain said, "It's not me. Oh, some people held me at gunpoint, and they were using my vessel and the oil. I don't know how the oil came about. Or it's not my oil." But bottom line, when Nigerian Navy, they swung into action, they arrested this guy and they burnt the vessel. So the House of Representatives is saying, why burn the vessel? That it is not proper, that it should be burnt. In fact, in their words, they said the house that it was important to preserve the evidence of for the prosecution of the crime, because in the first place, the person committed a crime by stealing an oil, right? And in one way that we can tell and show the court that this person actually stole our oil is by presenting the evidence, which is the vessel that was used to carry our oil. And now that vessel has been destroyed by the Nigerian Navy, how can we tell that this person actually committed the crime? That is the bone of contention. What do you think of the decision of the House of Representatives to probe the destruction of the vessel, the illegal bunkering vessel in the Niger Delta? 0700 903 903 903 is the number to call. You can also reach us via WhatsApp on 0700 903 903 9. 0700 903 903 9. And as the world celebrated World Mental Health Day on Monday, we hear that at least over 70 million Nigerians are suffering from mental health issue. I have Dr. Kike Oyikomi. She's a consultant psychiatrist. She'll be joining me later on in the show to discuss this and other issues. At the meantime, let's take some calls. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Very good evening to you, sir.
Pretty Precious. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How do you know Precious is pretty, by the way?
Sorry?
How do you know Precious is pretty, by the way, sir?
The voice is telling me a lot of things.
So the voice is talking.
The voice alone is a stimulant.
Oga, put mouth in this talk. Let's talk. So which of the stories would you like to react to? May I know your name, sir, again? Mr. Darlington, I guess.
Yeah, very correct. Okay. Very, very correct.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So let's know,
now,
which story would you like to react to?
The vessel, and then which other one?
Okay, the vessel and the fact that House of Rep has asked that the fact that it was destroyed be investigated.
Yes.
And then the CUPP alleging that there is a plot to sack Yakubu.
In fact, that is even why.
And the stoppage of beavers.
Precious, you remember what happened yesterday on this platform? When I was saying it, you didn't take me serious. I was telling you when you were asking that INEC is postman. I said it here, didn't I?
Yes.
I said it here repeatedly yesterday, but you were not paying attention to the point I was making.
But I did pay
attention. You can see it now. You can see it now that these people are deliberately trying to torpedo this election. I'm telling you. And coming from the ruling party who are promised, my worry here is that the president who promised a credible election is hearing all these things, is aware. I knew that something is in the offing when this man appointed carrying members of APC into INEC officials. We cried out that remove these people. He said no, he will never remove them. That means it has already been discussed, and they are doing the job they were asked to go and do in INEC. I was telling you here yesterday, I said, nobody can do what those fake names and what. Nobody can do it without the input of INEC officers, because you want to give your password for anybody to enter into the portal. Thank God you are hearing it today, but yesterday I was lamenting on it. You can see now that these people don't mean well for us. You can see it now. Look at
but you know that INEC has come to say that it's not possible because, first of all, stopping the use of beavers means that we will be going against the law. Since the electoral act has been passed already.
You didn't hear what they said. You didn't hear the other plans they have. You didn't hear. You'll be here now. A court will give ruling that the chairman is not a Nigerian. That they made a mistake in appointing him. You will look.
But if they appoint someone else, it is the right of that person. It is actually a law that the person obeys the law and follows the rights, procedure for election, which is using the
who will do
beavers.
their bidding. First, don't be deceived. They will do somebody who will do their bidding. Will you challenge them? The moment the decision is taken, there is nothing you can do. Look at yesterday. Do you know my worry now? As we speak now, some innocent INEC staff are languishing in DSS detention for doing their job. You can see the price you have to pay for doing the right thing. Is that not a cause for worry? No, from what you see, you people said, are you not worried that innocent Nigerians are languishing somewhere? And you are telling me they will do the right thing. Who will challenge them? Who have made any comment about what those guys are going through in DSS custody now? Who has said anything about it? Did these reps that are probing the ship that sank, are they not supposed to intervene in this matter? But because all of them are APC, nobody will say a word.
But it's not every member of the House of Rep that is the person who even raised the issue. Well, it's okay. Thank you so much. The person who raised the issue for this is actually a PDP member and not an APC person.
Who else will raise it? I said APC people, they can never intervene in such matters. They know what they are doing. They have told you that whether we like it or not, that they are going to win the election. Is that not what one woman said in Abuja the other day? Didn't you hear that? No, didn't you?
Thank you.
On the ship that sank, pressure. Let me just make a comment here, finally. On the ship that they sank, please.
The ship did not sink. The particular ship we're talking about was destroyed by the Nigerian Navy.
That's what I'm saying now. They sank it. They sank it. They destroyed it. When you bomb the ship, it will go down. It will not be flowing on the water. It will go down. Now, it is not whether they sink it or not. It doesn't matter. The fact that there is evidence. They say that they have identified the owner and is a Nigerian that have no name. Precious. This Nigerian have no name, but they can sink a ship. So whether they like it or not, the evidence is already out there. The ship has a number. It has a identity. It can be identified anytime, any day. Let the owner now come and challenge Nigerian government that they sank his ship. That's why we are waiting for them now.
Thank you. Thank you.
That ship is not the only one. So they have a reason for doing what they did. They have a reason.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for calling. Always a delight to talk to you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Right, it's still Voice of the People FM 90.3. Phone lines still buzzing and still very much open. I'd like to share your thoughts and reactions. Is 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. Did I tell you that you can actually watch live on YouTube? Because I'm streaming live right now. Yeah, Pretty Precious is on YouTube right now. So go to our YouTube platform at Voice of the People FM. And of course, you notice that I'm streaming live right away. And I'll move over to WhatsApp and take a few concerns on WhatsApp, right? To send me a WhatsApp message is still the same number, 0700 0700 903 9039. 0700 903 9039. So a few comments here. Peva from Oshodi says, few months ago, some presidential aspirants from the South said he was unhappy with signing of the electoral bill and the beavers. Recall that INEC, whom I know have never been independent, redeployed a technocrat who was involved in beavers intro. And I'm yet to believe INEC intend to carry out a free and fair polls. This is still Nigeria. And anything can happen. Peva from Oshodi, thank you for your message. Hello, good evening. All right, I lost that call already. Thank you so much. Well, you can do me a WhatsApp message and 0700 903 9039. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
A very good evening to you. It's 90.3 Voice of the People FM. My name is Precious. What's your name and where you're calling from? Oh my goodness, I lost that call. I don't know what's happening to my calls. They keep dropping today. Okay, it is all good. All right, so let's see if we can take some more messages here. Phone lines are still pretty open. 0700 903 903 903. And this says, nothing is wrong with destruction of the vessel used in to destroy our economy. Is that what you said? Let me take this call. I'll come back to that. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear now. Crystal clear. What's your name and where you calling from?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Nigeria, don't tire.
Sorry.
But what is the You see, this is what they teach. Any of their things, na lie. Any of their things, na lie. We don't see their nash. You watch for TV.
No, you don't use such words on radio, sir, please.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I want to say one man in our place, Uwere. The man is rotting in jail because he says simple truth. What we saw in this I make up it. So
what did he see? What did he see that he said? I'd like to hear. Can you share? What did he see that he shared that put him in prison? I'd like to hear.
See today in the AIT. These people that the other brother called. I watch it today live.
Say it by yourself now. I don't want to say it by myself. You would have said it now. Tell us the story now.
Okay, sorry, my dear. Although, you see what are the talk? So, Nigeria don't fire for these people. God no go let us enter for the hand of these people again. That is my own faith, and that is my prayer. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. Yes, we're streaming live right now on 90 Voice of the People FM on YouTube, so you can go look us up there right away. It's still 0700 903 9039. So this message says nothing is wrong with the destruction of the vessel used in destroying our economy. That's what you're saying. He said his name is Emmanuel from Ikotuegbe. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for your message. So it's not like we're saying there's anything wrong with it, but the point is, why not investigate first before destroying, right? Hello, good evening. All right, I lost that. So the point is, there should be proper investigation first before destroying that. Wouldn't it be the fair or right thing to do? Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, sir. Good evening. My name is Precious. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
My name is Ali Mohammed. I'm calling from Nigeria.
Mr. Ali Mohammed, welcome. Let's hear your thoughts and reactions on the allegation by COOP about the removal of the INEC chairman and stopping beavers and electronic transmission of results, and the the fact that Rep has said let's investigate that ship and why Nigerian Navy had to sink it or to destroy it. Which would you like to react to, sir? Hello, sir?
Hello?
Yes. Which of the stories would you like to react to? You want to say something? Which of these stories are you reacting to? All right, I lost him. Okay, it's all good. It's 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call. I'd like to share your thoughts and reactions. I'd like to hear from you what you think about what is happening. You know why this election is very important? Now, this seems to be like the most popular election we would have in Nigeria, because this is one election where you have almost everyone interested in right now. So gone should be those days that would say, no, our votes don't count. No, your votes count. All right. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, please. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, you get the point now. This is Ugo Elieza speaking.
Mr. Ugo, where are you calling from?
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Ugo, I can hear you. Where are you calling from?
Hello.
I can hear you loud and clear, Mr. Ugo. Can you hear me?
I want to talk on the issue with Nigeria. We are so, we don't care about everything that is going on in the country. The children are not going to school. Every other sectors are going about that. That is the problem with Nigeria. The whole citizen cannot stand at a point and say no to all this nonsense. You get the point now. Somebody is sitting up.
I'm waiting for you to land your point to understand what exactly you're reacting to. Hello? Okay, there must be something very fundamentally wrong with our phone lines today. However, if you can get through to us, you can actually do a WhatsApp message. I think that should be pretty much easier. Is 0700 903 9039. That's the number to do your WhatsApp message to. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, Precious.
Yes, sir.
Please, the previous investigations and probe that the National Assembly carried out, what were the results?
About what exactly did they?
Good. The ADDC, off your mic. Where did it end?
Honorable, off your mic, please. Let's leave that matter.
We should leave it.
Honorable, off your mic. Let's leave that matter and face the one on ground right now.
You can see that this probe is just for those people to come forward and grease their palm. Nothing will come out of it.
Why do we have so much distrust in the system, really?
That is what I'm telling you. Tell me all the probes they have carried out in the past. Give me one single result that you and I can take to the bank. Please tell me one. One that they have taken action against and stand by it. Mention one, please. One, just one. You can see. Meanwhile, if I begin to count all these probes, there are more than 20. If not more. Heinous crime committed against you and I are committed against the Nigerian state that this National Assembly are aware of, but they kept quiet. All these probes is for them to be greased. The election is coming and they will do campaign. So they want somebody to come and grease their palm so that they will sweep everything under the carpet. Yeah, this has been their modus operandi, so we are not amused. If they find out why they sank the ship, what would they do? They will only blow hot air, nothing will come out of it. Even some people swore that they are going to impeach somebody the other time. Even they swore that they must, no matter what happens, they are going to impeach somebody. It's over 2 months now. It's over 2 months. The Precious, answer me. Is it not over 2 months since that decision was taken? And we thought that something is going to happen. And now look at what is coming up. All this is just shenanigans because they know that Nigerians have conquered people. When somebody has been subdued, you can do nothing. We are now living in a Stockholm syndrome. When you see your tormentor as your Messiah, that person is suffering from Stockholm syndrome, and the person needs help. That is the stage where we are now. We know that this guy is dealing with us. But there is nothing we can do, rather to worship him and celebrate him, whatever he does. That is the stage Nigerians are now. You know your enemy. You know there's somebody that is dehumanizing you. You know somebody that is making you uncomfortable, but there is nothing you can do. That is where we are now, nothing else. That's why they are so arrogant. They talk anyhow. Because they know you cannot do anything. So the National Assembly probing, what are they probing for? Let them start from even the one that I suspected that they should have done something about. They didn't do anything.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
The padded budget where they are stealing our money. The oil theft, the oil theft that they confirmed it, or the government confirmed it. The oil theft, Precious oil theft of that magnitude. Nobody has been fingered. Nobody has been called out. It's
really very alarming. It's really very alarming. Over 700.
Not only alarming, it's annoying. It's annoying. I am joking. I have told you here that Nigerians have been hypnotized. It is only in this country that this type of thing will happen, and nobody is occupying anywhere by now. It is only in Nigeria. Yeah, they have placed a juju on us, a very powerful juju.
Okay, you're raising very salient points because we have a budget of 20.5 trillion naira that is right now facing the House National Assembly to be passed. And by the time we know it, that budget will be passed. And how can we even have a budget that more than half, almost the entire, in fact, a larger percentage of the budget is going to be from borrowed fund? How do you plan your life based on borrow me money? That's exactly what we're doing right now in Nigeria. Hello, good evening. 90.3 Voice of the People FM. Good evening.
Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, lady. My name is Tony Amele. I'm calling you from Ijagamo.
Good evening, Mr. Tony. My name is Precious. Welcome.
Okay. This oil theft in this country is
ridiculously laughable. So when you talk of oil theft, this thing is not taken inside a nylon bag, neither is it pocketed out of this country.
Nor do they use trucks to transport it?
Yes, in a vessel, barrels. When you talk of barrels, it's not even a liter of oil. So how can this thing pass the shores of this country without the naked eye seeing it? Honestly. So it has been fingered that the powers that be are the cartels behind it. So I am not against the sinking of that vessel. Even if they want to probe, notwithstanding the sinking of the vessel, they can get something out of it. But when we do it, like some people have expressed fears because of previous probes that we did not see the outcome. We are in the same country. What will come out of it at the end of the day? There is trust deficit in this country. Every one of us knows. So, in fact, this country has expired and it needs to be recharged.
No, sir, please.
Only God knows
let's
those who
use such
can
words
recharge
on the
it.
national radio, please.
In fact, no, it's like we are cursed in this country. It's not very unfortunate. So we can't deceive ourselves. Anybody who is saying something to the contrary is deceiving himself. And I don't want to be deceived. So honestly, what does all these things? Vessels being stolen. Drums of oil, not liters, being stolen in this country. Where is it hard? Honestly, something is wrong fundamentally with this country, except something drastic is done. So that is what I mean. I am not a pessimist, but what I'm saying, that is very, very ridiculous what is happening in this country. Something should happen to change the narrative. That's my own thing.
Thank you so much for your contribution. I mean, we all have right to our thoughts and reactions, right? So yeah, it's valid. 0700 903 903 903 is the number to call. Is 90.3 Voice of the People FM, and it's the evening rush with Precious. We're looking at a variety of topics this evening. We're looking at the allegation that the INEC chairman, there's a plot to remove the INEC chairman Makud Yakubu, and there's also a plot to remove the use or stop the usage of the beavers, which would ensure at least a credible election. And there is also a plot to stop the electronic transmission of results. These are allegations that have been made, right? Okay. And then also, INEC has come to, dismiss that allegation that it's not possible because in the first place, beavers, everything concerning beavers is already passed as a law, and it's impossible for INEC not to abide by that law. So our phone lines are still open. 0700 903 903 903 is the number to call me with, and you can do a WhatsApp message to 0700 903 903 9. I'll quickly take a break. I'll come back, and then remember that we still have to discuss mental health. If we enter into the topic of mental health, you just be wondering, is everybody in Nigeria, is our head correct like this at all? We'll get to that after this break. Stay with us.
This is your number one radio station at VOP 90.3 FM.
The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and Coldberry ice cream. Light in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and Coldberry ice cream at 11 Road by First Avenue, Festac Town. 28 at Deniro Ogusanya Street, Surulere. 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1. Romeo's Pizza and Coldberry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions.
every day strike, ASU strike, market women strike, even Kule people they strike. We don't become country of strikers.
Even light sef dey no fit give us o. Don run from motor. Even leg sef dey get accident.
Why una dey complain? Why una dey complain? No una dey collect bribe dey vote Sokoloko Bango ṣe.
ìṣèjọba tó dára òun là ń béèrè.
anyị chọrọ ọchịchị onye kwuru uche ya anyị achọrọzi ọchịchị nchigbu.
ala ndeze teme ka mụ so n'ekio.
wetin we want na make dem rule us well.
Don't take it for noise. It's the people's voice. They have made their choice. Respect that voice for all to rejoice. VOP 90.3, Voice of the People.
Indeed, Voice of the People FM 90.3 FM from our studios in 1 minute past 22 minutes actually at this moment, past the 7 o'clock mark. And of course, we're still looking, it's still the evening rush with Precious, and we're still looking at a couple of stories. I did mention the story about an alleged group, coalition of united political parties, alleging a fresh plot to fire INEC chairman and deactivate the use of beavers. And Nigerians are concerned about that. We want beaver because beavers right now is like a messiah. In the words of the INEC commissioner in charge of voter education and information, he called it, this is our treasure, it's our national treasure, and we need it because it's important that we keep it, because that is what will help us ensure free and fair election. In fact, he said it's part of our national asset and cannot be jettisoned. No individual or group can at this moment legitimize the process and procedures of the election because it's already passed into law. Hello, good evening to you.
Sure.
Yes, please. Good evening, sir.
You see, I don't like Nigerians who doubt the capacity of these people to commit evil. I don't like it. People should be very, very vigilant. Did you ever believe that this cleaning of register could happen? I was asking Festus Okoye, how come somebody gain entrance, gain access into the portal and uploaded fake names? Somebody did it. And these guys that have detained now are the ones that resisted it. They are the ones that told the whole world what happened. And that's why they have been picked now, forcing them to tell them why they leaked the secrets. And you are telling me that there are no more secrets in the office somewhere. They are not going to do more harm. Do not doubt the capacity of these people. Though. Most of the things that happen under this administration, did you ever think in your wildest dream that it will happen to this country? Did you ever thought of it? But it happened, and you and I did not do anything. So Nigerians should be very, very vigilant with these people. I have said this several times that these parties, they are not planning to win election. They are planning to rig. They know that they don't have any credibility. The only way they can secure victory at the poll is to rig and commit all manner of atrocities. And you can see it playing out. Since this news broke, have you had any APC leadership saying a word? Have you had where is Festus Okiamo? He should come and talk now.
They've actually reacted to it. They said it's a lie. That
they are not aware. Yes, yes, it's not enough to say they are not aware. Those guys at the DSS detention facility in Owerri. Why can't somebody challenge the Ugochinyere to come and show him where these people are? Why can't the man was telling the DSS Director General to call Owerri and ask them what are those boys doing there? Those are next time. What are they doing there? What did they do? Why is it that they have been denied access to their lawyer and to their family? Is that not a serious time, for God's sake? Is that not? For doing your job, for doing the right thing. Do you see why these people don't want Nigeria to move forward? Can you just see it now? These people just don't want anything good for this country. And you can see them behaving as if they are patriotic leaders. My worry is here, the president that promised the whole world credible election, where is he in all this matter? Can't he summon INEC chairman for him to explain all this thing that's going on? Can't he summon him?
But the INEC chairman has actually responded to this. And I mean, the validator fears that we shouldn't
It is not enough. It is not enough. Those people that committed this crime, who are INEC staff, why haven't they been brought to book? I've been expecting INEC chairman to name names, the staff that committed this crime. Somebody did it. You go in and said it. You cannot get access to their portal without somebody, an insider, giving a password. I said it here yesterday, but you are not listening to me. It's not possible for somebody to sit down in his house and register his name in INEC portal. It's not possible. You can't do that. Somebody made it possible. Somebody did it. And it cannot be far from all these APC members that they appointed as INEC staffs. It cannot be far from them. That is the reason. It has not
okay,
started.
so it doesn't look like we're
there is no credible
accusing people without proper evidence, sir.
Look, if we don't sit up, if we don't match these people bumper to bumper, they won't give us any credible election next year. Forget this thing we are saying
But they
here.
have promised to give us credible
The
election.
promise is not enough. Look at what has happened. If not for this CUPP, Precious, you and I wouldn't have known about this. You know very well. Nobody would have known about it, and it would have passed. These people are voted. Omoma Magic. Did you go through the sequence of this press release?
Yes, of
Did you
course
go through it?
Yes,
that is Hope Uzodimma has local government. And you know how Hope Uzodimma became the most government from number 4 to number 1. You can see the job he's doing. He's doing the hardest job for APC in Imo State. That is the only reason why they appointed him. He was not elected. He was appointed to head Imo State. And look at what he's doing in his own local government. And somebody telling me that we have good leaders, you have credible patriotic leaders. Whenever they speak, I get annoyed because you know they know that they are deceiving Nigerians. They know. Whenever these people say anything, they should go and check. It is the opposite that they are going to do. Is this how to give me a credible election? Tell me, is this how to give free, fair, and credible election? Is this the beginning? If you don't get it right now, is it on election day that you get it right?
But we're starting from somewhere, and INEC has done fantastically. I mean, we saw what happened in Osun State. We saw that they did a good job, at least reasonably. And let's cut them some slack. I mean, we know the system we're in. So that doing a good job. And let's learn to have faith in the system. That could help us.
We have passed the level of mediocrity. We want excellent performance. Some African countries are doing electronic voting. Some of their indigenous abroad are voting. Can't we champion it here? Where you be voting, you just vote and start going to your work.
We will grow to that. According to INEC, it is because in our constitution it is written that people can only vote in their words close to them. So INEC, the legislatures, the legislative is your National Assembly members. So until National Assembly, until they change that to the fact that you can vote anywhere you are, and that would happen. INEC will make it happen.
The National Assembly is populated by APC.
There was a time it was populated by PDP.
Yeah, they said they were coming to correct what PDP did. They said they were bringing change.
All right. So thank you.
Is this the change? You know, is this the change? They have even done worse things than PDP.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nothing genuine about these people. Nothing, no simple thing. Look at how their presidential candidate, look at what he's saying. Grant ordinary interview he has not granted, but he's been sorting people all over the place. Calling people termites.
Thank you.
I don't know who's the cockroach here.
Thank you so much, sir. Oh my goodness. So I when you hear, okay, I like the interest the Nigerians are having in election these days. I like the interest, I like the passion, I like the fact that we have that zeal to want to, but let's just try to be very civil with our words. Hello, good evening. Can you help me turn down the volume on your radio set, please? Hello?
Okay, I think that I've done that.
All right, good evening, welcome.
Okay, this is Tony Anele from Jagamon.
Okay, thank you so much. Kindly help me make it brief, sir.
Okay, where I am reacting is this alleged that you are using on INEC and CUPP issue.
It's alleged now because it hasn't been done, sir. It is an allegation.
You see? So this word alleged, in fact, it's becoming colloquial in Nigerian political lexicon. Even when something is evident there that this social thing happened, even when there are empirical evidence. So we will say alleged. So do you know that if a certain death cries in the night and the morning a child dies? So you know what I mean. This Ikenga Imo Ugochinyana cried out, called press conference that they are stopping INEC register with strange names. People from outside this country, especially happening in Imo State. And he also, you said, let me use your word, to allege that they are taking INEC to court to force them to stop this diverse idea. 2 days after, you had them one colleague taking INEC to court in a bid to stop that beaver. So how can you now say it's alleged?
INEC still says, in fact, not even what INEC is saying now. Let's even look at what the law says. Do we have the existence of beavers, the fact that we would use that machine in our electoral act? Yes, we do. And as long as it is what has been passed into law, it has become a law. Nobody can stop it. And that is what INEC insists.
Yeah, that we do hear that INEC has the right either to apply it or to reject it during elections. So they are trying to force them not to use that system. So in that case,
INEC is insisting that they will use it because there's provision for them to use it by the law, and they will use that, make use of that provision, that window.
All those allegations are so doubting that they cannot be swept under the carpet. So why will somebody, in fact, when a madman is going along the road dancing, you know that somebody is beating the drum for him inside the bush. So that's the fear Nigerians are expressing. Please, no matter the pressure, no matter the intimidation, I am appealing to INEC not to renege in using that beaver to conduct 2023 election. That's my take and appeal. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So Lagos will be moving the conversation now to our mental health. And there's something very important I'll play for you to hear. I just wish I can post that video somewhere for somebody to hear, to watch, right? But before we go straight to that, remember that today is 13th of October, and of course it's being celebrated as World No Bra Day. I don't know if Dr. Kike in the building is wearing bra anyway, but I'm looking at the girls. I was thinking of setting them free, but what I'm carrying in front will not let me. So it is World No Bra Day, and today is actually set aside to remember those who have suffered and survived breast cancer, and also to create awareness on breast cancer. And the good thing is that we'll have time to talk about this within the month, because the entire month of October is breast cancer awareness month, so we have so much time to educate us on breast cancer. But if you know a woman that is close to you, please ensure you teach them to examine their breast as much as they can. Just rub the breast. They didn't say do something else to the breast. Teach them how to use their hand to massage, to check out for lumps in their breast. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll look at our mental health. Over 70 million Nigerians out of the 200 million Nigerians we have are suffering from one mental health ailment or the other. And as we speak, quite a number of them, over 75% of them, cannot have access to healthcare. Why do they not have access to healthcare? We'll talk about that after this break. Stay with us. It's still Voice of the People, FM 90.3. And of course, it's the Evening Rush with Precious. We'll be right back.
The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and Cold Berry ice cream. Delight in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and Cold Berry ice cream at 11 Road by First Avenue, Festac Town, 28 at Deniro Ogusanya Street, Surulere, 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1. Romeo's Pizza and Cold Berry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions.
He won't use person do money, kill him. Come sit tire for here. Put am for in neck. Burn am. Yes. They no go find better work do. Na yahoo dem go dey do. Burn am. Stop.
Dat person wey you wan born, if it dey innocent, no go carry person blood put for your head. Jungle justice no good at all. Stop am.
You wey light the fire, you no get heart. Say no to jungle justice.
You uncle wey follow for the crowd dey look wey dem dey born person. You no stop them. E dey do you like film abi? Your hand sef no clean o. You fit enter gbege. Stop the lynching. Stop jungle justice.
Under the criminal law for Lagos State, person wey start jungle justice, those wey support am, and those wey just sit down look, all of them fit rot for jail. My name na Benjamin Hundeyin, Lagos State Police talk person. Stop jungle justice.
This message now from Lagos State Police Command
and VOP 90.3 FM.
This is your number one radio station at VOP 90.3 FM.
Electricity, though largely invisible, plays a very visible Electricity, though largely invisible, plays a very visible role in our daily activities and personal achievements. At the center of every meaningful development is good electricity. Our modern day realities revolve around electricity. It powers almost everything we need to make life easy, fun, and beautiful. Electricity in our daily lives is what mental health is to an individual. Your mental health powers your thoughts, your emotions, your perception, your memory, attitude, behavior, and the quality of decisions and choices you make. Spare a second to imagine how difficult it will be to live without good electricity. That is how difficult it will be living without good mental health. Since we don't see it physically, we're often tempted to keep taking it for granted until we lose it. How much attention do we pay to our mental health, which is the electricity that lights up every other area of our life? Just as we pay attention to electricity to power our phones and other devices, we need to pay attention to our mental health to power our thinking, emotions, behaviors, and ability to perform optimally and achieve success in life. Herein is a call to deliberate action. Herein is a call to major in the major. Pay more attention to your mental health. Checking it is in order. Fixing it is greatly commendable. And taking care of it is highly advisable. There's no reason to feel uncomfortable or ashamed because your mental health, like electricity, has an all-important role in your life that can never be ignored. This message is brought
It is 90.3, Voice of the People FM. You heard that about your mental health, right? That your mental health, it's like the electricity that you need to do everything that you need to do in your life. So, psychiatrists have raised the alarm that 1 in every 4 Nigerian, even more than one sometimes, have at least one mental health issue or the other. So that is over 50 million Nigerians are suffering from one mental disorder or the other. You know, when we say mental health disorder, we think that these people must be running mad and, you know, going out about without their clothing. No. So they also said that about 75% of these people who have mental health issues do not have access to mental health care. That Nigeria has only 300 psychiatrists to treat about 200 million people. In fact, we're more than 200 million. You know, we're still working on estimates because we still don't even know our exact number, right? And added that Africa has 1 psychiatrist for every 500 inhabitants. You don't even get it. 1 psychiatrist, 1 human being will treat 500 people. That's what it means in Africa. And meanwhile, the United Nations standard or the World Health Organization standard is 1 to at least 100. So you can imagine how far we are. We did not just double it, we tripled and even went beyond tripling it. That is the reality of our time. Well, I have with me in the building Dr. Kike Oyekomi. Dr. Kike Oyekomi is a consultant psychiatrist, and she's been a doctor over the years, and she's a master of mental health. Dr. Kike, good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening, Precious.
Good to have you. I like the way I connect with you everywhere I go. All right, so we're looking at mental health. It's very scary to hear the figure and that. So let's even start by educating Nigerians or Lagosians right now. What exactly is mental health?
Good. Mental health is a topic that a lot of people don't understand, and there are lots of misconceptions about it. That's why when people have mental health issues, they might not even know, and when they know, they might be seeking the wrong help. When we say mental, I like to start from the basics. When we say mental, mental doesn't mean madness like a lot of people think. Mental is a technical term that refers to the mind.
Oh, wow.
In medicine, we have technical terms for all parts of the body. So when we say renal, we mean kidney. When we say hepatic, we are referring to the liver. When we say cardiac, we are referring to the heart that pumps blood around our body. So when we say mind, we are referring to, when we say mental rather, we are referring to the mind. And where is the mind? Some people think the mind is outside of the body. The mind is not outside of you, it's inside of you. The mind is resident in the brain.
And when we say mind, we used to touch our chest.
Yeah,
we used to touch our chest.
The one in your chest,
in our mind.
The one in your chest is the heart. And you know what? Part of the confusion is because the logo of love is
it's exactly
the heart.
It's a heart.
So some people think that they are the
but
mind.
Is that really the shape of the real heart anyway? That's not the shape of the real heart.
It's not like
exactly.
it, but it looks like it.
Okay.
So mental health means the health of your mind. And what does your mind do? Your mind is that part of your brain that helps you to function as a human being. Man is the head of the ecosystem, not because we can reproduce or we can move or we can breathe. Many things that man can do, lower living beings can do it. But man can think. Man have emotions, a wide repertoire of emotions that it can make use of to achieve things. Man behave in different ways. Animals that are even closer to man, they have limited repertoire of behavior and emotions. So when we say mental health, we're referring to the health of the mind. That is, using your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts or your thinking, your behavior in ways that would enhance your capacity to enjoy life and to deal with challenges that you face on a daily basis. In other words, your mental health helps you to do the things that is expected of you as a human being. So whatever thing that you do in life, maybe you're a student, you're a journalist, you're a doctor, you're a pepper seller, you are an artisan, you're an apprentice, you're a pupil, whatever, you're a manager, executive, you need your mental health because all these jobs require that you think. So for example, a pepper seller would think about, where do I get my wares? Where do I get cheap pepper to buy from? And how do I woo my customers? How do I sell more? She's doing all these mental things in her head. Then the executive too is thinking about how to, facilitate his people, the people working under him, to bring more resourcefulness to their jobs. The journalist also is thinking about the different stories he's heard, how to put everything together.
I was going to say that we journalists actually need a lot of therapy. Goodness me, because we come across all sorts of stories every day, and it's hard to be seen with those stories.
Yes, really. There are some jobs that are particularly very, very stressful, and they have a very high risk of having mental health problems.
For real?
Yes.
Like job like ours?
Yes, including mine. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I was actually saying that like, a joke, really.
No, it's true. Because, you hear a lot of stories, you relate closely to people, you hear a lot of stresses, heartbreaking things, and so many things that can actually put a lot of stress on your mental health. So mental health is the health of the mind in just that, short description.
So a lot of people tend to mix it. When people just say, when they hear mental health, they say, I know the Chris. Nothing they do me, I know the Chris. In fact, they'll say, in Jesus' name is not my portion, I know the Chris. So how do we define, how do we separate total insanity from mental health?
Now, mental health is the health of the mind. Mental illness is when the mind is not functioning well. So if you're not thinking well, or you are having the wrong emotions, or you can't control your emotions, or you are not behaving well as expected, or you're behaving out of place, that means you have mental health problems. Now, there are different types of mental health problems.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay, it doesn't have to be someone who's taking off their clothes and off the streets.
No. There are different types. We have mild to severe. So
Okay.
sometimes somebody might even be well dressed like you and I, and the person is having serious mental health troubles.
Oh, wow.
Yes, because people think that it's only when you remove your dress, you are walking nude on the road, or you are looking disheveled, you are looking unkempt, or you are smelling or picking rubbish from the ground, that you have mental health problems. That's not true. And you see, the people that people see on the streets, roaming the street, they didn't start that way. Most times when mental health problems start, they usually start small, but a lot of times people don't pay attention to these health symptoms, and gradually the thing will now metamorphose into more severe types of mental health disorder. So there are different types, there are different intensities, there are different severities, there are different ranges of mental health problems. And the thing about mental health problem is that it could happen to anybody, regardless of your age, your gender, your geography, that is where you are, regardless of your social status, regardless of your race, your religion, your age, anything. It could happen to anybody. As long
So
as you
even
have a
children,
group.
are you
Yes,
saying that?
Yes.
This is scary.
Yeah. No, there's nothing scary, honestly. I don't want people to be scared when they hear about mental health problems, because mental health problems are like other bodily disorders. They can be treated. The problem is that a lot of people don't know this, and when they do, they attribute mental health problems to other things, like, oh, it's a spiritual attack.
I was going to come to spirituality. You just took it right out my mouth. So, okay, since you've already gotten there, so let's just jump into it. So what relationship does mental health have any relationship with spirituality? Because you have a situation where some people, once they notice that something is not quite working well in the mind of some people, they carry them and begin to flog them, take them to where they tie their legs, and so does that help in any way?
It doesn't. It only aggravates the problem. The thing is that, when human beings don't understand something, they tend now to attribute it to spirituality. So mental health is a topic, like I said, that a lot of people have a lot of misunderstandings about. And because they don't understand this, so when someone is having mental health symptoms, they now attribute it to something else. That's why they keep jumping. They would start going from one church to the other, or seeing clerics, either pastors or imams, or traditional faith people, conducting deliverances, believing that the person is possessed, or the person is afflicted, or the person is even suffering from that problem as a result of retribution, that the person must have done something bad. And Precious, Nigerian movies don't help either, because when they portray mental health problems, they usually make it in a way that seems like this person that is coming down with a mental health problem has done something bad. Maybe the person has snatched somebody else's husband, or the person killed somebody, or the person went to the village, and when one old woman saw that the person is doing well in Lagos, now afflicted the person with mental illness. So these are the messages that Nollywood films
like
to the public.
like it comes up from a diabolical means or something.
Yes, and this is completely untrue. This is completely
okay. So Dr. Dikike, I have actually interviewed in my years of service a mental health practitioner who says and who accepts the fact that a mental health issue has some sort of relationship with spirituality.
Correct.
So then what are you saying? You're saying that
not in the way people think.
So in
now,
what way is it
Yes.
connected to spirituality?
Yeah. Researchers have shown that people that are spiritual in a positive way enjoy more mental health. Now, what is spirituality? Spirituality is having a meaning, in life. You have a sense of purpose. So it helps you, it guides your actions. And because of this, you are not, you know that you are doing something meaningfully. You have a sense of agency. So it helps your mental health. That is different than when people feel that it is an affliction from the devil. No.
So the
Just
devil cannot cause one to have mental health issues?
I'm not saying that. If you're saying that, Precious, that means the devil can actually cause one to have any form of illness. So why is it only mental illness?
You know, these days devil even gives you cancer. That's what I hear. And devil gives HIV.
Are you a pastor? How do you know?
But that's what they say. That's what they say.
A lot of things. So you know, and then in Africa we are very spiritual. Are we spiritual or religious? We are religious. We are not righteous. You know that.
Well, righteousness is of God, so it's for God to determine. So we really can't tell.
By their fruits you shall, by our fruits you shall know us. We are religious, so we attribute a lot of spirituality to so many things, especially things that we do not understand, or things that we don't want to accept, or things that are so painful for us to accept. So we rather push it to God. So that's the thing. And these things, you know, where I work, a lot of times people don't come there, you know, immediately they are experiencing symptoms. They wait for a long time, and not that they are waiting in their houses. They are moving from one faith house to the other. They spend a lot of money. They're exploited for no reason. You see, when people have mental health disorders, it is not a death sentence. Mental illness does not trammel your life. It doesn't narrow your life. It doesn't stop your life. It's like every other bodily illness. It's like hypertension or diabetes. They are treatable. But the problem is people don't know this. And people need to know. That's why this mental health conversation shouldn't only happen on October 10 of every year. It should be an everyday thing. Because, you see, the mental health is an integral part of our existence. Precious, you are in this studio because your mind is functioning well. You can focus. You are listening to me. You can understand what I'm saying. We are conversing logically. You know, you are using your mind. You are here in the studio. You are not using your beauty. You are not using your height. Right?
Which I don't have in abundance anyway.
I didn't say that.
It's okay. It's good that you pointed that out. It's fine.
You are not using your complexion. Precious is a very beautiful lady, but the beauty here in life is not something that would help you to function as a human being. It helps, you know, it can open doors. But when we are talking of human functionality, it's about your mental health. So there's no reason why people should shun that topic. There's no reason why people should run away from it. And when problems arise in that faculty of our existence, there's no reason why we should deny it. There's no reason why we should be ashamed. There's no reason why we should stigmatize people that experience one form of mental health problem or the other. Because the truth is that it can happen as long as you have a brain. Except you're telling me that you don't have a brain. We are all mental beings.
So Dr. Keke, how do we identify this issue? Because it's very important.
Yeah.
How do we know when it's creeping in, and how do we know what to do first? So first of all, let's look for very possible early symptoms.
Good. Most cases of mental problems start small. They start with small symptoms, just like malaria. I like to use concrete examples so that people would really understand.
That's very funny.
A lot of times when people have malaria, it doesn't just start like severe symptoms. It might start with headache, maybe body pain, loss of appetite a little, you eat and the thing is not really tasting well. The same thing happens when it comes to mental health matters. It might start with poor sleep. You might actually sleep through the night and then you wake up in the morning and you're feeling unrefreshed, or you are even oversleeping. It might actually start with poor appetite, or you are eating and it's like you are not tasting the food, and sometimes it might be overeating. So any significant change in your sleep or appetite pattern could be a pointer to the fact that you are not doing well upstairs. It might also manifest as loss of concentration. You're doing something and your mind is not there. Your mind is wandering. Something that should take you like 2 hours, you are doing it 10 hours and you are even making mistakes. You can't focus. It might even manifest as...
But talking about being focused, yeah. I mean, we all have short attention span. Is that a problem?
We don't have short attention span. I don't want to say it that way. The problem is that we multitask beyond our capacity. So we want to do 10 things at a time. So it might seem that you have short attention span. No, that's not correct.
Okay.
Though some people have it, there are some conditions, that can manifest with short attention span. For example, there's something we call ADHD in childhood. That's a recognized disorder. But the reason why I said so no, and why I explained is that there's so many pop psychology that means many popular beliefs that are not true, that are not correct. So people tell you that we have 5 minutes of madness in us. We have this, and they are not correct.
So those are just myths.
They're just myths. Yeah.
So we're looking at the symptoms. What one has to look at to ensure that
I've mentioned 3. Now another one is social withdrawal.
So you said lack of sleep.
Yes. Or too much of sleep.
Yes. Or the fact that you don't have appetite. Almost all of us don't have enough sleep in Lagos State. Are we now all mad in Lagos?
That is not true.
Okay.
People might not sleep at night. That would be deliberately because people are doing something else. Maybe they are doing something on their social media, or they are working late into the night. When I'm talking about sleep, it is poor sleep that is not deliberate. It's not as if you're walking. It's not. No. It's when it is. You want to sleep, you go to the bed and you're just rolling, tossing on the bed. That is the type of thing I'm talking about. It's not when you're deliberate. Sometimes people fast. It's not as if they have lost appetite, but it's a deliberate, avoidance of food. Yeah. Okay. So social withdrawal means someone doesn't feel like, someone who used to enjoy the company of others no longer wishes to be in the company of friends or family. Sometimes when people start doing drugs, maybe they start smoking, someone that wasn't smoking before, or they escalate the amount of drugs they do. And when I talk drugs, I'm talking about all legal and illegal ones, including alcohol and cigarette. Because when people hear drugs, sometimes they don't count alcohol and cigarette, as drugs. They are actually drugs. They are psychoactive substances. And they damage your brain. They damage your mind as much as cocaine, heroin, marijuana will damage your brain. Although it is alcohol and nicotine, which is in cigarette, are socially accepted, but that doesn't mean they are safe. Yes.
Are you serious?
I'm very, very serious. So people should know that they are psychoactive drugs. So don't be deceived. And it's written on the pack. It's written on the pack of cigarette that smokers are liable to die young, and that is for real.
The man has got to die of something anyway.
But should you now die by doing something deliberately? Should you kill yourself? There are other ways. Sometimes some people drink alcohol to drown their distress, their mental distress, but there are better ways of relieving mental distress. In life is about change. Life is about stress. There's no way we will not encounter this too, because change is a constant thing in life, and the type of change we are even experiencing now is described as an exponential one. That means it is rapid. We can wake up tomorrow morning and everything has changed. So this type of change, because people don't have enough time to adapt to it. For example, you buy a new phone now. In 6 months' time, there's another version.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, this one, you haven't even finished analyzing how to use it.
You don't even know how to use it yet.
So this type of rapid change, there's a rapid social change, which it puts a lot of pressure on us. So people must learn. They must know how to manage this change. And then in this age of technological explosion, technology ideally should help us, should relieve us of a lot of stress. But because people are using technology in the wrong way, I mentioned that sometimes when people are supposed to be sleeping at night, they are doing something on their social media. Night sleep is different from day sleep, because in the night, some hormones are released into your system that helps your brain cells to relax, to rejuvenate. So some people will say, okay, if I don't sleep at night, I'll sleep during the day. They are not the same thing. The physiology of your system at night when you sleep is different from the physiology.
Dr. Kike, you're loading us with too much information. My goodness, my head is exploding. All right, Lagos, let me let you know that you can come into this conversation. You can chime in on this conversation. You can actually do us a WhatsApp voice note, and you can choose to stay anonymous if you want to contribute in this segment, right? So we'd like to know, do you have any challenge? Do you think, based on what Dr. Kike is saying right now, you may be experiencing one form of mental health, challenge or the other? We would like to hear from you. She is in the building. She's willing and ready, to talk to you and probably advise you on what next step to take. So phone lines are open 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. That is 0700 903 903 903. You can do also WhatsApp message to the WhatsApp line 0700 903 903 9. 0700 903 9039. That's a number to do as a WhatsApp message too. We're open and ready to take your messages. As I said earlier, you can actually do a voice note so that we can take Dr. Kike can hear from you and then give you her feedback right away. We'll have someone on the line. Dr. Kike will come back to your thoughts later on. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Yes, Pretty Precious, I'm back.
It's Pretty Precious. Thank you so much, sir. Welcome.
Now, good evening to your guest.
Good evening, Dr.
Good evening.
Kike.
Good evening, sir.
The only time we will take this in serious is when we listen to the NDLEA boss said. Early this year, he said most of our political leaders ought to go for mental health checkup. And this is the drug star in Nigeria. He knows what he's saying. Imagine if any of them, those who go abroad and we don't know what is wrong with them, they come back. Imagine if any of them were to tell us what is wrong with them. It will help to check some of these things. People will begin to say, if somebody of this side has this kind of thing, then it's better I go and check myself. But everything is shrouded in secrecy in Nigeria. The moment you mention Yaba left, people say, God forbid. But whether you like it or not, in a country where over 100 people are living below poverty level, you cannot rule out mental ill health. It is not possible. Nobody can be healthy in that country. Poverty alone is a different kind of madness. So, except our political leaders begin to draw attention to this, and people below the ladder will not take it serious. And that is what I will advise the doctor. Let them make it compulsory. Let them campaign. Let them canvass for it. Because if we don't pay attention to it, more people will be going into madness without knowing it. The only time we see a man when he is no longer wearing clothes. But from what is going on, from the way our people talk and behave, especially those you think that they should know, there is no gainsaying that there is so much mad people on the street in Lagos. Wearing suits.
Thank you.
They are in offices, holding big offices.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, their mental health is questionable.
Sir, let me respond to you. You see, saying that the fact that when politicians are in positions of power and they misbehave, maybe they embezzle or they don't do the right thing, they misappropriate funds, that means that maybe they are mentally ill. That is not correct. You see, when people deliberately do things, when people know that this is wrong, and they do it in a very calculated way, they do it in a very systematic way, that is not mental illness.
Can you help me hold your thoughts, please, briefly? Let's see if we can take this call. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, please. What's your name? Do you want to be anonymous or you would like to say your name? Your name is David.
Yes.
David, do you have any concerns about your mental health you'd like to share with your doctor? And hello, David. Hello, David. We can't hear you. We can barely hear you.
My own case is a different case to other one there. My person advice.
Your case is a different case. How?
I think this issue of
sleeplessness. You can't sleep.
If it happens once in a while, well, I will lay down before I know it, sleep will not come.
Sleep will not come.
Start thinking, but maybe by the time it's 4-5 hours, I'm supposed to sleep. You need to carry away, I'm supposed to go to work.
Okay, David, let me quickly respond to you. Poor sleep is a symptom that there's something wrong. I would advise that you see your doctor, but before then, there's something called sleep hygiene that you can inculcate into your lifestyle. So what does it mean? In the evening, don't do something that is too stimulating, like maybe watching very, very horror movies or things that will stimulate you. Don't drink caffeine in the evening, drinks like coffee or things that contain stimulants. Don't drink energy drinks in the evening. And then go to your bedroom only when you feel like sleeping. Don't go to bed and start thinking about the day. Don't go to bed with your phone in your hand and start thinking about how much you have spent during the day. Let your bedroom be associated with rest, relaxation, and sleep. And then you can also shower in the evening. When you want to shower in the evening, it's advisable that you use warm water. Warm water relaxes your muscle better than cold water in the evening. And then eat light food. So if you do these things, it might improve your sleep. But if it doesn't, please, you need to see your doctor. Don't self-medicate.
Hello, good evening.
Thank you so much. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you. What's your name and where are you calling from? Oh, would you like to stay anonymous? It's fine if you want to stay anonymous. I'm sorry I even asked.
No problem, sure.
Thank you.
I heard what so far discussing, and I think there's two things that you really mentioned over about the health issue. Like me now, I'm the kind of person, I don't sleep. I find it, I can be awake now from this time now till tomorrow morning. I can know when the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And sometimes, there's another thing she mentioned, doing something that they can be able to finish within 3 hours, you do it within 10 hours. I don't concentrate at all. I think so much. But I know that this is not normal. I don't know. So I know.
Madam, why not see a doctor? Why not see a doctor? Please do. Please do. There's nothing to be ashamed of, it could happen to anyone. And I would advise that you do that quickly so that it doesn't degenerate into more serious problems. Please.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
So
all right.
Can I go on?
Yes, you can go on. You can go on with your previous thoughts, please.
So
Thank you.
When people say that politicians must be mad, that's why they behave that way. When people embezzle, they know what they are doing because they do cover up. They do a lot of things. So we cannot now use psychiatric disorders as we can't abuse psychiatric disorders and then want to explain immorality on the altar of psychiatric disorders. That would be an abuse of medicine. So these people are criminals and they should be dealt with as criminals, not as mentally ill people. Now, if you say that, they should go for psychiatric check, if you say, personality check, then you'll be in order. There are some jobs that your personality your personality has to be in a certain way for you to be able to function well. For example, you can't be an air hostess. What are they called? Air hostess. If you are not friendly, if you can't smile, if you are not amiable.
All right, let's see if we can take this call. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I want to stay anonymous.
All right, good, great. So go ahead.
So I just want to share my experience.
Okay, the doctor can hear you.
I was the kind of person that used to share everything before. Like, I speak a lot before I play with people. But like last 2 years, when I lost my mom, so I'm 14 actually. When I lost my mom, it affected me. Like, I don't know what to be with anybody. Like, I just want to be on my own, not talking to people. So it's that kind of a mental illness.
So for the past 2 years, you've changed. You just like to be alone for the past, and you were 12 when your mother died.
Yes.
You're 14 now.
When my mother died.
Oh, you were 14 when your mother died, so you're 16 now.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Listen to the doctor.
Okay. My dear, I'm so sorry that you lost your mom. When we lose someone with so much love, we go through a process called grief. And ideally, there's really no time frame for grief, but most persons would be doing better by the end of the first year. So if you're not doing well, this is the second year, I would advise that you talk to someone. I want to think that you are a student. You can talk to your counselor in school. If you're not in school,
do our schools still have counselors anyway?
There are some schools. Yeah, if you don't have a counselor in your school, talk to a teacher. I'm sure that if you talk to a teacher, your teacher will be able to advise you. That is if you don't want to go to a doctor straight. I would rather that you go to see a doctor straight.
Okay, so because the phone lines are still open, it's 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to reach us with this evening. I'm in the house with Dr. Kike Oyekomi. We're looking at mental health, the importance of mental health. You know, you had said something about Nollywood, destroying
creating
more problems and destroying the way people view mental health. But there are cases like that, aren't there? Like it is portrayed in the movies.
Most times, Precious, they portray mental disorders in a very disgusting way. They portray it as if the thing starts suddenly. Most times,
so that's why people shy away from it.
Yes, you can't watch such.
So sorry for cutting you there. Let's quickly take this call. Hello, good evening. Hello. Yes, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Sarah.
Sarah.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Sarah, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Oshodi.
From Oshodi?
Yes.
All right, Sarah, very quickly. Let's hear you. Sarah, we want to hear you. Go ahead.
Please, you the question again.
Wait, you called because you want to talk with a doctor, right? You want to speak with a doctor. So go ahead. All right, so Dr. Kia, please, apologies. Go ahead with your line of thoughts.
Okay, the one I was talking about before, that we cannot now use psychiatric disorders, to explain people's immorality. When people,
so there's immorality and there's mental health disorders.
Yes.
That's two different things.
They are two different
so back
things.
to Nollywood and how Nollywood has helped us create a different perspective.
Yes, because people believe so much in media and what the media projects to them. So the media should be very accurate in sensitive issues like this. They shouldn't joke about mental health. They shouldn't portray mental illness in ways that would lead to more confusion in people. I have most Nollywood films that I have seen, they have portrayed mental illness in very, very inhumane ways, that when someone else starts thinking that, okay, maybe I have mental health symptoms, and you think about that thing that you have seen on the movies, you would say, no, I reject it.
It's not my portion.
Yes. Because they tell people literally that once you have mental health problems, then you must tear off your dress, you must start running so fast into the marketplace, and that if nothing is done, you might never get well again, and that even for you before you can get well, then you probably need to be taken to a pastor for prayers, for deliverance, and that maybe you have done something very bad. So people have these beliefs that when somebody has mental problems, then it's not a case for the hospital. So that's why a lot of times people delay and people just go about, they exploit them, they waste time, and by the time they are coming to the doctor, they have spent a lot of years, doing nothing and expending money unnecessarily. So I think Nollywood should please do something about it. It's the 21st century, right? And I think those type of portrayals are obsolete. They are primitive.
Okay.
I think they should step up, honestly. And sometimes when I see these movies, I feel ashamed because I wonder, what if people in more advanced countries are watching? What will they say?
All right. Hello. Good evening to you.
Hi. Good evening.
Very good evening. Would you like to say your name or would you like to remain anonymous?
Yeah, I would like to be anonymous.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear your thoughts and reactions. What's your question?
Okay. Yeah, doctor. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
So exactly what my question is now is, I would like you clarify us the difference between having a mental health and depression, and as well for anxiety as well. Let me make a practical example. There is this thing that happens to me, maybe practically for myself. Maybe sometimes, like writing an examination, after you submit, you are not like, am I sure I write my name or my matric number written on the sleeve? Something like that, being anxious. And at some time, maybe you are looking forward to something that will happen, maybe like 1 month's time, and you become so anxious about the event, like, okay, so it's going to happen next month or next week, and it's affecting your present.
can we apply that to be a mental health issue as well? It's just a normal anxiety, or I just want you to clarify that for us.
Okay, you mentioned 3 things. You asked about depression. The second thing is obsessional doubts. Then the third one is anxiety. Now, let me take it one by one. Depression is a form of mental health disorder. It's a form of mental illness, and we have different degrees of depression. That's on the one hand. Then obsessional doubts are, when sometimes maybe you are leaving your house and you think, oh, did I turn off the tap or did I turn off my gas? And then, you have doubts, and sometimes you go to check. There's nothing wrong with this behavior, honestly, because it helps us to be more careful. But the problem is when it now becomes persistent, that despite checking, you now go again and check. So you write exams and you know that, okay, I have written my name, but the thing really, really disturbs you so much that you are not able to sleep and you keep doubting yourself, then it might be a problem. And then the third thing you talked about was anxiety.
Yes, anxiety.
It's normal. Yes, it's normal to be anxious about, the future, about what we don't know. But when it now begins to impinge on your daily functioning, when that anxiety becomes crippling, that you cannot function well, that is disturbing you from doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, when you have anxiety that makes you to forget to do other things, anxiety that makes you not to be able to focus on what is necessary, then that anxiety has become pathological, meaning that it has now become a problem and you need to see your doctor.
Okay. Do you understand very well now?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your response.
You're welcome.
So, sorry, please. Another question I would like to ask again is
Go ahead, please.
For this anxiousness, maybe curiosity as well. For not seeing a doctor, do you think it can capitalize to something big that will affect the brain in a very obvious way?
If your level of anxiety is not normal, if you say you don't want to see the doctor and you think it might go away, it might resolve on its own, it might not. It might actually now escalate into something more serious. Please see a doctor if you feel that there's a problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We take a break now. We'll come back. You can send in your messages via WhatsApp, really, especially if you want to stay anonymous. Send in your message via WhatsApp. You can actually even send a voice message so we can read it, right? So sending your message via WhatsApp is 0700 903 9039. That is 0700 903 9039. That's the number to send your WhatsApp message to. Let's quickly take this call and then we'll jump on the break and come back. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, again.
This is
Doctor.
Good evening, sir.
You are doing fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to ask you this question. When you have someone around you, maybe your wife or your son, and everything is going on all right, the love is there, everything is there. Suddenly that person starts in his grade, maybe he's sending an error, and he just disappoints you. Maybe he's supposed to buy this thing for 10,000 and he told you 15,000, and you now discovered, and I warned that person. Second time he did it. Something just coming to you. You don't want to see him again. You don't see him talking. You don't want to see him around you. It's something has to do with mental health.
Well, thank
you.
you.
I don't want to see him around you anymore.
Okay. Sometimes when people misbehave, especially when that person wasn't like that before, but if that person had been someone who is a bit slimy, then you might think that, the person is up to her games again. But if that person was never like that before, and then the person now starts behaving in ways that you can't explain, and it is persistent, and you're sure that the person is not playing a fast one on you, or the person is not doing it deliberately, then it might be that the person has some issues. Maybe the person cannot concentrate, or the person is forgetful. And let me use this opportunity to say that researchers have shown that a good percentage of marriage breakups are usually due to mental health problems in one party that was not recognized. Yes. So sometimes the other party might actually be mentally ill, and the other partner doesn't recognize it and would just think, oh, this person is just misbehaving. It might not be so. For example, let me give a concrete example. For example, when some men are depressed, they might not actually present in a classical way like a lot of people would think. Sometimes it might just present like irritability, and the man would get annoyed on trivial issues, and the man might even become very aggressive, either verbally or even physically. So when you see your husband or your spouse behaving in ways that are not, this man or this woman wasn't this before, then before you say, oh, I don't want to marry him or her again, you might actually want to help that person first, rule out a mental health problem first. Or when somebody starts drinking, so it might be because sometimes mental health problems might not manifest like a direct symptom. It might manifest in an indirect way. Sometimes it might even manifest as bodily symptom. So somebody always complaining of headache, back pain, and the person is always swallowing paracetamol or always treating malaria. He will say, today I have typhoid, tomorrow I have malaria. I will be taking antibiotics, taking anti-malaria. It might actually be a symptom of mental health problems that is presenting as we call it somatization, so presenting as a bodily illness. So when you have any health problem, what I'm saying is that any health problem that is persistent, that is very, very recalcitrant, very, very naughty, you are treating something. If you need to be taking paracetamol every day, there's a problem. See your doctor. There's a problem.
All right, it's still our Voice of the People FM 90.3, and of course it's the evening cruise with Precious. We're looking at mental health issues. First of all, recognizing them. How do? We hear that pastors, imams, Nollywood have made and worsened the challenge of mental health and made it a bit difficult to manage. And Dr. Kike Oyekome is a consultant psychiatrist. She's thrown a lot of light to this conversation. Bring in your calls, your messages. You can choose to stay anonymous. She's actually giving us a bit of pointers that we should look out for, to ensure that, that could tell that there may be a little problem in paradise, in case you may be having early symptoms of mental health. It's not only when you remove cloth and go outside that you know that you're mad. It doesn't start that way. And it's very important that we pay attention to this. But let's quickly take a break. We'll be right back, to further discussion.
This is your number one radio station at VOP 90.3 FM.
Every day strike, ASU strike, market women strike, even Kole people they strike. We don't become control striker.
Even light self, they no fit give us. Don't run for motor. Even leg self, they get accident.
Why una they complain? No una they collect bribe, they vote Chokoloko Bango share.
Ìṣèjọba tó dára, òun là ń béèrè.
Anyị chọrọ ọchịchị onye kwuru uche ya. Anyị achọrọzi ọchịchị nchigbu.
Ala ndeze temeka muna so nekio.
What do we want? I made the rule us well.
Don't take it for noise. It's the people's voice. They have made their choice. Respect that voice for all to rejoice. VOP 90.3, Voice of the People.
It's Voice of the People FM, and it's Evening Rush right here. We're looking at mental health issues, challenges. How do we, first of all, notice it, and what do we do? Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, okay. I think I'll choose anonymous.
Anonymous, all right, great. So go ahead. The doctor can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, doctor.
Good evening, sir.
All right. Something I want to ask quickly. Is there any connectivity between mental health and, how do I call it, and supernatural power? Or how do I explain it? Is there any type of madness or mental disability that is connected to metaphysical powers?
Okay, thank you. We already talked about it. Maybe you weren't listening at that time.
Maybe I just tuned in. I didn't hear.
Thank you. Okay.
Let me just briefly summarize anyway. It's not true that, you know, when people have mental health problems that it must then be spiritual, maybe an affliction. Most times it is not. You know, we are spiritual beings, right? And like I said earlier, researchers have shown that when we are positively spiritual, it helps our mental health. Yes, it helps our mental health positively. And then when your mental health is more positive, it also helps your physical health. And researchers have also shown that when people that have good mental health, they live longer than people that have poor mental health. So spirituality can help. But for people now to think that all forms of mental disorders must be caused by the devil or must be an affliction from the village is not true, sir.
But are there some that can be caused by the devil? Are there some that your village people can give you? I mean, not your village, not you now. I mean, are there some that people's village people give to them?
You know, sometimes when you believe in something, when you believe that, some people are okay, let me use this opportunity to say something. There are some mental health symptoms that might manifest as, you know, people might say, some people are after me, they want to kill me. We call those ones paranoid delusions, you know. So I might actually say that Precious hates me, Precious is conspiring against me. And usually when people develop this type of paranoid delusion, they usually have it against their loved ones. So you might actually see some people, some old women who are depressed or who have dementia, and they say that, I killed all my children, or I'm responsible for all the deaths that have happened in the village. And it's not true. And
so those people that come and confess, so you're confessed now, they flog you to confess. And they say, I actually killed this person.
Yes.
Let's quickly take this call. This is getting interesting. Let's quickly take this call. Come back to that. Hello, good evening. Hello. Oh my,
Hello,
yes, good evening to you. Would you like to stay anonymous?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Doctor, please,
yes.
I have a question.
Go on.
Go ahead.
I'm always pissed off.
You're always what?
I'm always pissed off.
We can't hear you very well. Your line is breaking up, and if you really need help.
I'm always angry.
Okay.
Okay. At every little thing.
Yes.
Okay.
And what again?
Okay, and again, I usually forget things.
Okay.
And you easily forget things.
Okay. Right. Also, so you have anger and forgetfulness. Yes. That means there's something wrong. See a doctor, and don't be scared. You might just need maybe some counseling. Maybe you don't have healthy ways of handling anger. Maybe you are stressed and it's expressing in those forms. You know, sometimes when we are stressed, we can become forgetful. But I can't be making a diagnosis on air. So I would ask you to still see a doctor who would ask more questions and decipher what the real problem is.
Thank you. All right. Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening. We can hear you. Good evening. All right. So, Dr. Kike.
Yes, I was talking about some old women or older persons that might actually have paranoid delusions, and they say things like, I killed my children. The death that happened in this village, I'm responsible for it.
Do you know that man that died in this place?
Yes. They might
we see that a lot in Hollywood, so that's why I'm very interested in this.
So you get it now. So sometimes some forms of dementia might actually manifest that way. Yes. Sometimes when people have severe depression, they attribute negative occurrences in their environment to themselves.
Yes. So are you serious about this?
Yes.
And then we think these people are witches.
Exactly.
You know, especially if it's an old woman, or an old woman rather.
Yes.
We're very easy to attribute witchcraft to very old women.
Yes. Sometimes there was a time I saw a video on WhatsApp. This old woman was seen on the rooftop or something like that, and people said, she must be a witch.
She tried to fly at night,
and then she now
stuck.
landed, and then she got stuck. It might be that woman is having a severe case of dementia, and she just got lost and was wandering around.
Dr. Kike, I know you're not a prophet or a pastor, but we know that there's spirituality in this part of the world. But are you saying that there's some science to most of those things that we see?
Yes, they can be explained. I just mentioned one. There are several. Honestly, there are several.
Let's take this call and then we'll come back again because lots of questions that we have to answer. Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Hello, good evening. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, good evening. I go by the name Sergeant Abudu because I'm Supervisor Simon Adams. I'd like to thank you for this particular topic you brought on. And then, actually, I had a friend that had mental illness, and then, unfortunately, he has done some stuff that was bad. So I noticed it at first, and I told one of my friends, "Say, come, guy, look at this guy. While he doesn't, exhibit this kind of characters and stuff like that, suddenly he just changed and started indulging in some kind of stupid activities." So the guy said, it is normal, maybe because they broke his heart and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
I said, okay, fine, maybe he's going to get over it and all this kind of stuff. But unfortunately, it became an habit. So it was consistent. It was repeatedly, going on and on and on and on. Before we realized, he started doing some worse stuff. Like he would sneak out at night to get this, what do they call it? This alcohol drinking sachets and stuff. So he became an addict. His mom came. The way he reacted, it was just so bad and poor. So a friend of mine just said, okay, fine. Maybe we're going to force him to a doctor or stuff like that. Before you know, he was at the doctor and the doctor diagnosed him, and before you know, he was referred to an hospital like that for some tests.
But is he better now? Is he better now?
He's admitted and then currently in the hospital. But the conclusion was that he had schizophrenia.
Oh, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
So I just felt bad. Like we've been blaming him
without knowing.
Exactly. So when we realized they had schizophrenia, we were just like sad. I was particularly sad because there was a time I was talking to him and I advised him. I said, "Your dad is a pastor, so why do all this stuff? You're tarnishing your dad's image." I spoke to him like a brother. So when I saw he wasn't changing, I boycotting him. I started doing all kind of stuff because I felt if I did like he was going to change him.
Thank you so much for your question. So you see the thing. So
Yes.
we were actually looking at the identifiers. How do we identify? How furthermore do we identify those changes from people, our loved ones around us? Because it's important that we notice
any significant change in anybody's pattern of behavior should raise a suspicion of a mental illness, especially when that person never did those things before. So somebody who just started drinking, or the amount of drinks increased, especially after a stressful event, people should think that there's something wrong.
By a stressful event, you mean maybe heartbreak,
financial losses, loss of any type, anything that and let me say that it's not only negative occurrences. Sometimes positive occurrences also can also lead to a mental breakdown. Anything that can stress us. For example, you have just moved to a new house, or you've just had a baby, or you've just gotten married. Positive things like that can also stress us and precipitate mental illness in a vulnerable person.
So how about children? You had mentioned that children also at risk of mental health.
Yes.
How do we identify that with children?
Now, children, what we expect of children is that they should be learning. So we expect that maybe a 2-year-old should start talking, should start relating in a particular way with people around, should be doing well, learning numbers and letters, learning causes and effects and things like that, being able to understand things, that are compatible with that person's developmental age. So when those things are not happening, because these things are functions of the mind. So, it's the mind that the child uses to learn. So if a child is not doing well in school, don't say the child is an olodo, that in that balance that we usually call them here. It might be that child has a mental problem. Sometimes the child is in class and might be having seizures. There's a particular type of seizure called absence seizure. That one, the child will just remain on her chair and wouldn't fall because a lot of people think that seizure would necessarily make you fall and start jerking. There are different types of seizure. So a child having repeated absence seizures in class might actually not be doing well academically. Sometimes children can actually manifest mental problems as a form of rebellion. And you're talking to your child and the child is talking back at you, yes. Or
throwing tantrums, is it part of it?
Yes, throwing tantrums, yes. So, or a child that is not playing in a normal way, or a child that doesn't like to associate with you, a child that is not responsive emotionally as you would expect. So these are pointers, these are things that people should really, really watch out for. And then I need to reiterate that mental illness is an illness of the brain. The brain is the organ of the mind. They are legitimate illnesses. Until people appreciate this, they would always want to see mental illness as something spiritual, something strange.
Because in our mind, it's our village people.
So why is it hard?
I don't
for
know.
people to believe.
You know, in Africa, we're very diabolical. Hello, good evening to you. Welcome.
Hello,
welcome. My name is Precious. It's the evening rush. Welcome, please.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. This is the evening rush. Welcome.
Yes, Mr. Mecca is talking.
Mr. Mecca, welcome to the evening rush. Let's hear you.
Thank you. God bless you. Please, I want to know what I can do in this my problem. Okay. My wife died a month ago. I just buried her. Since then, I cannot rest. I cannot sleep. If I get into the room where we do sleep, I see any of her things, I will never sleep again. But if I sleep now, I think I roam to the bed there, I cannot see anybody. I wake. I can't sleep again. Please, I need help.
We are so sorry to hear that. So sorry.
Hello?
Hello,
yes,
sir.
Yes, please listen to the doctor.
Yeah, you know, when
I should meet doctor.
Listen to her. She's talking to you. Listen to her.
Okay.
Yeah. Those experiences after a very significant loss, those experiences are quite normal. You know, sometimes we have poor sleep. They are quite normal. But when they become so disturbing, then you need to see a doctor. They might need to give you maybe short-term sedatives that would improve your sleep. I would ask you that please don't self-medicate. Don't go to the pharmacy and buy sleeping tablets because you might be buying the wrong ones. Don't start drinking because it would only worsen things. If you take alcohol, it's just going to give you temporary relief. It would damage you further. It's a very traumatic event. And on the stress scale, losing a wife, losing a husband is very, very stressful. And it would shake anybody to the person's root. So we understand your pain. But is there a way out? Yes. But I would say, please, see a doctor. See a doctor. They will do the right thing.
And very importantly, a psychiatrist doctor. So most times when they say see a doctor or see a psychiatrist, they say, I'm not going to Yaba left in Jesus' name. It's not my portion. Yes. No, this is not about you being mad or insane, sir. It's because it's a psychiatrist who studies the mind and the brain. Yes. And that's the person who can tell you the exact treatment that will be beneficial to you. So if you can go see a psychiatrist, it would be of immense help to you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right.
You know, when we encounter stress in any form, it's the brain that interfaces with the outside environment. So, and the brain is the organ of the mind. So that is why we have mental symptoms when we encounter stress. So poor sleep, poor appetite, lack of concentration, forgetfulness, irritability, negative moods, social withdrawal, things like this, which are symptoms of the...
Are there things we can actually do to avoid this?
Yes.
Are there things we can do to avoid, are there mental health, pointers that we should... things we could do to avoid it.
Yes, just like there are things that you can do to enhance your physical health.
Exactly.
Yes, they will say, okay, eat well,
do exercises. Exactly.
Yes, the same thing applies to the brain.
Oh no, you're
not. Yes, because the brain is an organ of the body. The same thing that the heart likes, the brain also likes it. So eat well. Eating good food helps the brain. The brain is made up of cells. The brain is a biological organ that needs nutrients. So eat right. When you eat right, you are fortifying your brain. you're actually like building that brain to be more resilient. So it's like some people have mental kwashiorkor, mental marasmus. So that when they now encounter stress, they break down, just like people have kwashiorkor. You know what kwashiorkor means? Protein energy malnutrition. Yeah. So the same thing applies, because the functions of the mind are not concrete. They are not seen like that. They are not something you can touch. So people don't appreciate that the mental functions are coming from biological processes that are happening in the brain, in the mind. So these are biological. Your thinking is a biological process. Your memory, your perception, everything is a biological process. And these biological processes are done. They are undertaken by brain cells that need nutrients. So eat well, eat balanced diet. Number 2 is sleep well, rest well. I cannot overemphasize the need for adequate sleep.
So Dr. Kiken, when you say sleep well, it sounds a bit ambiguous.
Okay.
Right?
An adult needs, an average adult needs at least 6 hours of good night rest.
6 hours?
Yes.
In the night?
Yes. Good night rest. 6 hours. Although there are some people that are short sleepers and there are some people that are long sleepers. Some people, if they don't sleep up to 7-8 hours, they won't function well. But an average adult, 6 hours is good. Don't miss it. So sleep well
at night.
Yes. Make out time for sleep.
There are some Nigerians or some Lagosians that go to work from Ogun State every day to the island.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And they have to leave the house before 4 a.m. every
unfortunately.
day. So how do we? Are there ways that we can at least make up for the lack of sleep because of our jobs?
Okay.
What ways can we do that?
You wake up. You need to wake up 4 a.m. You go to bed maybe 10 to 4, 6 hours. So assuming that you don't even have 6 hours, weekends. Don't waste your time. Don't go for owambes in the weekends.
Okay.
You can make up for that lost time. Okay. So don't waste your time on frivolities. When you don't sleep well, you are owing your body. So you need to pay that debt. I mean, you need to pay that sleep debt. So make sure that you repay it. Otherwise, nature is going to ask you.
So for instance, if people just have time for 5 hours of sleep during the day or 4.5 hours of sleep, for the day, they can make up for that during the weekend.
Yes, they can.
It helps.
They can, yeah.
It helps recover.
Yes,
because it's very scary with the kind of lifestyle that we live in this part of the world.
And then there are other types of relaxation techniques that you can do. For example, meditation.
Okay.
Listening to music. Music entrains all the brain cells. That's why music is very soothing. Look for music that suits you. Maybe it's reggae, maybe it's classical, hip hop, anything that suits you. Even if it's akpala.
Which is akpala?
Akpala is one of our local, and I really love it too.
Okay.
Yeah, akpala, very very nice music, very cool. Yeah, it's a local.
All right, so we have this message here that says, getting angry quickly and unnecessarily.
Okay, yes.
Is it also caused by a mental disorder?
It could be, yeah. When you have, we call it pathological anger. So when you are, you see, anger is a natural emotion. I mean, it's a natural emotion, right? Yeah, anger is part of the whole gamut of emotions that we can experience. So it's normal for us to get angry. But when you get angry and Precious does something and I slap her, that is abnormal anger. Or your child does something and you beat, you box, you bite, you do things like that. You can't control your anger. So when your anger controls you, it is a problem. So you need to do something about it. So it might be a form or it might be a manifestation of a mental health problem. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Lagos 0700 903 903 903. That is 0700 903 903 903. You can do also WhatsApp message and you can choose to be anonymous. Even send us a voice note and choose to be anonymous on 0700 903 903 903.
Yeah, good evening.
Very good evening to you. Can you help me turn down totally the volume on your radio set?
Okay. I heard how the doctor said children can also have mental health issues.
Exactly, that's what she said.
Yeah, that was I don't know. I felt bad, like a child would have a mental. But like in the other case where she said, like when a child wants to rebel, as in when a child talks back, those kind of things.
Throws tantrums and all that.
Yes, I want to ask. Can a hot slap reset the mental problem of the child?
Oh God, calm down. Is that why you didn't tell us your name? I'm not sure you did tell us your name. Okay, so doctor, listen to the doctor. Let her tell you the magnitude of hot slap that can reset it.
Discipline, discipline is part of good parenting. Yeah, discipline is part of good parenting, and every child needs some basic things. Every child needs firmness, consistency, consequences, limits and boundaries, and love. 6 things, you know. So, and the thing is that if you start discipline with your child early, you won't even need to slap that child. You won't even need those hot slaps. That is if you start.
But does the hot slap work? That's the question.
In Africa, we believe in the art of disciplining our children, but in advanced countries, they see it as child abuse. But in Africa, we
but
don't
is it really
see
child abuse?
Well, in Africa,
looking at it in the real sense of it
is
now,
not in Africa.
Whether in Africa or not, in the real sense of it, it's
not. It is not.
It's not child
but
abuse.
You must do it with caution. When you want to correct a child, don't do it in the heat of your anger. And then,
but we all flog in the heat of anger. You know that
it's not,
we do
not
that.
right. You should do it in a systematic way.
So this kind of hot slap, this Oga said, now that one can leave a mark on the face of the child.
It's not right to slap someone. That is, because you are inflicting that injury on the person's head. It's not right. You can actually slap somebody on the hand, on the buttocks. That one is better.
So slapping on the cheek is not good at all.
It's not good.
It has health implications.
Yes, because you might land your hands on the eyes. You might land it on the nose. You might actually injure, because the face is very sensitive and the head is the house of the brain. So you don't want to joke with that part of the body. Yes. So I wouldn't advocate for hot slaps.
But let's just look at it in the Nigerian sense.
Yes.
You know, when they say somebody is misbehaving, give the person slap, the sense will come back. Does that slap bring back the sense?
If you do it appropriately.
How do you do? So that's the thing. That's a medication.
Yeah, for some children, for some.
Not just, adults. When they say if adult is misbehaving, he has taken something and is working on him, just slap him and the person comes back to reality. Does that work?
You shouldn't be slapping an adult. That one is beyond slapping.
You know how we use slap to reset all sorts of mental elements in this part of the country. Hello, good evening to you. Hello, you have to help me turn down the volume on your radio set. I can't take your call like this. Good evening.
I've done it.
Thank you very much. Yes, please. What's your name, sir? Or do you like to stay anonymous?
Mr. Eze from Jebu.
Okay, Mr. Easy, welcome.
Yes, I hear what you are saying, and I have to say I welcome. I thank you for your explanation of things.
You're welcome.
So what I want to say is, in my own, I need to be forgetful. So when I use something, not and I forget it. So before I remember it, will take a lot of time, or maybe just about 5 to 10 minutes. I come back again.
Yeah, is that all?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, forgetfulness is
yes.
Okay. Forgetfulness is a non-specific symptom. It might be that you're stressed, and it might be that you have more serious things. So I would say again, see a doctor. Yeah. Because I can't make diagnosis.
So this thing that he said about forgetfulness now. I've had a friend who says that, we are creatives. Most of us with this kind of jobs we do, we're creatives, and most creatives forget a lot. Is that a thing?
That's not correct. That is not correct.
Are you
Forgetfulness
serious?
is part of human behavior. It's normal to forget things, but forgetfulness, yes, it's normal to forget things to an extent. But when it becomes frequent or it becomes unnecessary, when you're forgetful on things that you shouldn't forget, like you're forgetting maybe your birthday or your son's birthday, you are forgetting important things, then that is not normal forgetfulness. But sometimes, occasionally, maybe when we are stressed, when we've not slept well, we can be forgetful. But when it becomes persistent and it is impinging on our daily functioning, then it is a problem. You go to the kitchen and then you are cooking and then you forget, and the thing that reminds you is the smell of the burnt food, and it happens all the time, or it happens most times, then it's a problem. It's a problem.
But if it's one-off, it's not a problem.
It's not a problem. No, it's not a problem.
All right.
Or you go to your room, you want to pick something, and then you stay in there for 15 minutes before you remember, that one is
so,
too long.
So how about, there are times that somebody just gets blank.
Yes.
It could just be that.
Yeah,
It could
yeah.
just. Does it happen to you too?
Yes, it does.
So I'm not
it
mad.
does. You are not.
Okay. I just need to be sure. So you know how you can just get. Oh God, we're together in this business, Abby. I needed to put my voice to this a bit.
Yeah, no, that is not yet.
Oh my goodness, no, you would never be. Not my portion in the voice of Nigerians. All right, really. So you know how you just get blank and
Yeah.
So it's a normal thing.
Yes,
and it
yes.
happens in seconds and then it comes back again like a flash.
It's normal.
And
It's
comes
normal.
back.
You see,
What really causes that? Is that a mental health issue? Really?
No, it's something. Sometimes when the brain cells are fatigued, maybe you haven't rested for a long time, or you are multitasking. You're
Which
putting
we
so much
always
pressure,
do.
or you haven't eaten. You have hypoglycemia. Yes, you have hypoglycemia. You have been working all day long. Sometimes the brain cells will say, "Please eat,"
Serve me
and they
something.
can manifest with such
These symptoms.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Hello, good evening. No. You have to help me turn down the volume on your radio set, please.
So,
Good
you know-
evening. Yes, good evening. Are you there? Sorry about that, Dr. Keke. Hello,
Yeah.
good evening.
Good evening. I want to remain anonymous.
All right, go ahead, please, very quickly.
Please, I had something like asthma since 2002. And it was severe till around that type of 2006. And when it was disturbing me, it made me in such a way that I would be choked, and it will make me not to sleep till maybe around 4. Then I'll have a little sleep, but then that people are waking up, I will get up. So that thing persisted even up to 10 years. Disturbed my sleep for a long time. I don't know whether it can it will have any effect on my health. Because even now, up to now, I think I do, when it comes up, though I'm using the healer now, it will affect my sleep account.
All right.
Because when it comes up, I will be a sort of having a fear to if I
Okay, so if I get you, he says that he has asthma.
He's asthmatic,
yes, and sometimes he doesn't sleep
because
well.
of the severity of his attacks.
yeah.
It's discouraging. I mean, it distorts his sleep pattern.
Yes.
And most times he hardly finds sleep. I think what he's trying to say within the last minutes of his call, I think it breeds fear in him for sleep.
Yes.
Because of the way
it might
the
be.
attack comes.
I'll still say see your doctor, because sometimes when we are not able to breathe well, it might not always be just that asthma. You might have some other issues. For example,
Wow.
yes, if somebody has maybe some degree of cardiac failure, it might actually manifest as not being able to sleep well at night. Yes, it might manifest that way. So I don't want you to just say, "Oh, it's my asthma." Please see your doctor.
All right, so let me
proper
quickly take this
evaluation.
message and then we'll move further because we're almost wrapping up and it's almost time. Messages are coming, calls are popping in, but I'm not sure we can take any more of them again. Good evening. What of someone that is always fearing everyone or always disassociated himself from what others are doing? Sometimes she will be talking to herself and laughing because that again is another thing.
Yes. So talking to self, sometimes we talk to ourselves. I mean, it can be normal. We call it soliloquizing. It's sometimes,
but not
it's
so
normal.
often in a normal situation, right?
Some people we do it sometimes, especially maybe when you are under pressure and you are thinking, you are doing a lot of mental thinking, and people might see that you are talking to yourself.
Okay.
But when somebody is talking to herself or himself often, and then there are other associated things, the person is also laughing to nothing in particular, then that one, they are serious
That means they're
signs.
seeing something that
yes, they are
that is-
probably hallucinating. Yes.
And hallucination is a problem.
Yes,
it's a mental health
yes,
issue.
it's a mental health
Okay, so
problem.
let's even look at the records. The World Health Organization at least advocates for 100 a doctor, a psychiatrist to 100 patients at least, right? And in Nigeria, we have a deficit, like a serious deficit. How do you cope as a psychiatrist?
Well,
how do doctors cope?
It's even worse now. The brain drain is worse now. I tell you, Precious.
So it could be one doctor to 1,000 patients
we are
in
not
Nigeria.
even up to 300. That's it, because in my center, as they are finishing their residency programs, they are traveling. It is pathetic. I can say that it's with the older ones that are remaining, honestly. I think it will get to a point that, in fact, it's terrible.
No, but this is not funny. I mean, but we also need help in Nigeria.
Yes, unfortunately. But the environment is not inviting. It's not conducive. Precious, let me tell you something. This is my 22nd or 23rd year post-graduation. If Nigeria was like this when I just finished, I probably would not be in this country. So I can't blame the younger ones for leaving, because they finished residency and there are no jobs. And it's not as if we have enough doctors. We don't have enough doctors. Right. But they are not employing them. They will say, oh, there's embargo. Federal government has placed embargo on employment. So what should they do?
So Dr. Kike, I'm sure, do you have a social media handle that you can give out to us so we can follow you? Because some people may have questions they'll further want to ask, but may not be able to reach you. So just a social media handle.
Yeah, they can send messages to Mental Fort NG. That's Instagram, right?
Instagram.
Okay, my mail is akoyekomi@gmail. They can send to my Gmail.
Okay, akoyekomi at Gmail. akoyekomi at Gmail. And I hope you respond to your messages, because I'm sure people will be really. Thank you so much. You've practically just done free diagnosis and consultations for us in the studio. Thank you so much, Dr. Kike Oyekomi, for throwing light at it. One advice, just before we leave, to people listening right now about their mental health.
Yeah, please, your mental health is very important. And mental disorders are real illnesses. They come from the brain, and the brain is a biological organ. They affect people differently, and they are very treatable. They yield so well to treatment. So please stop the stigma.
All right, pay attention to your mental health. That is what I'll say. And not every mental health be madness. So no call them madness. Till tomorrow, people will see you. So it's going to be Entertainment Friday tomorrow. So be looking at reviewing some movies that you've watched. I also love to take your action and your reactions on most of those movies. But I won't let you in on the movies I'll be looking at tomorrow on Entertainment Friday. Plus including, of course, all that political stories trending tomorrow. Stay with us. It's been the Evening Cruise with Precious. It's been amazing being with you.